Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the starting 11 show for Everton versus Manchester City this Sunday. Matt Jones is with me. Me and Matt are going to pick the side. Well, basically, I've picked it. Matt's just going to discuss it. Matt, what have we gone for? We've gone for Joel in goal still.
Yeah.
Does he deserve it to stay in? After
I don't know. Stecklenberg's leg just fell off by the sound of it, hasn't it? It's the longest dead leg, I think, in football history, isn't it?
Ever. Do you think he just can't be arsed now?
It's the same thing that's happened to his leg that happened to Nias's wrist.
Nias's wrist and some cop-out heads. Do you think he's just gone, yeah, I just need a little break? I'll have a little break.
He might have done, yeah. Did you see him walking into the ground the other day? His hair looked bossed out. He looked good in the club seats.
He is cool, isn't he? Yeah. If he was available, both available, would you bring him back or would you just leave Joel in?
I think he's done okay, Joel, hasn't he? I think maybe you look at that whole goal and think he could have probably stopped that. Seen some people being pretty critical about him at the weekend for the first goal. But I think he's done alright. I think he gives us that extra bit of composure coming out and getting crosses and stuff, and I quite like his distribution as well, so yeah.
Okay, keep him in. Joel in goal. 3 at the back, of course. Yeah. Mason Holgate in again to add those legs.
Yeah.
He's got a fine pair of legs. That's what Matt said off camera, so that's why I put it in. Now, I think we need that pace, don't we? Because obviously we've got Ashley Williams and the barbecue king himself alongside Williams there.
Yeah.
Neither of those two are quick, as we saw quite painfully against Leicester. Holgate with the pace there at the back.
And I think the other thing as well with Holgate is he's decent on the ball, and I think against City we're going to need to keep possession when we can, because they're going to be smothering us for long spells of the game. So I think having that little bit extra composure in there. Williams and Morey aren't the best, are they, in bringing the ball out and knocking it into midfield. But I think as Holgate's shown, he's quite composed in possession, so I think he'll give us that extra there as well. And also playing him there, it gives you that flexibility, doesn't it? Where if you want to go to a back four, you can just push him to right back. Yeah. Coleman can push onto right midfield, and you can do that. So yeah, I'd definitely start him in this game.
3 there, obviously Seamus at right wing back and Leighton Baines at left wing back. Yeah. Both built for those roles, really, aren't they?
Yeah. I think Baines had his best game of the season against Leicester, and he was probably the main bright spot. You'd think about that, and he's looking like he's getting that fitness base back again. You've seen him maybe not be quite at it with all these niggling injuries he's got, but he's put together a good run of games now, and he's been really brilliant. Those tackles he does high off the pitch, winning the ball back recently as well. That's been a great feature.
Even late on though, like the 90th odd minute, weren't they, sliding in? So and they, they're still a big threat for us when they're both at the races. Obviously into midfield we've got Morgan Schneiderlin,
the new man
in midfield, and obviously he's going to be a big player for us, isn't he?
Oh yeah, massive, and it's great to finally have got him in as well, isn't it? After I think a lot of people were starting to get a little bit worried over the weekend after the comments from Ronald Koeman, but I think he's a fantastic signing for Everton, and in a game like this, it's going to be one we'd expect his tackling, his defending, and just his physical presence to really get around that City midfield, try and stop the likes of Yaya Toure and Silva from dictating the game, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he gets on, considering he's not played much football at all this season.
I was going to say, is that a worry for you that he's not played?
A little bit, but what else? What other options have we got, really?
He can't be. Let's be honest. He can't be any slower than Gareth Barry.
You wouldn't think so. And he's obviously been doing his training in Salford Park as well,
exactly, in the park
with the bungee cord. That's basically like playing Manchester City, isn't it? In a way. So but I think he's the all-round midfield package for me, and I think being able to do that little bit of everything, he'll be hugely important. It's going to be his experience to be vital as well, next to obviously Tom Davies in there.
Yeah, Tom Davies, a big game for him. He's had some good, probably what you'd expect from an 18-year-old kid starting a couple of starting a couple of big games. He was up and down a little bit against Leicester. He started slow against Southampton, but I thought he was fantastic in the second half. Leicester, the manager, said he was the best player on the pitch. Yeah. So, this is a big test for him. But you know what? With someone like Schneiderlin in there, Davies can just go and get around the pitch and just do his job, can't he?
Do his shoulder passes onto the wing.
What a ball, by the way.
Magnificent.
Shoulder pass.
Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it's going to be a huge test for him, isn't it? You'd have to say, while he's played and done well in matches, he's not really been in from the start against a really good team, has he? Especially City as well, you'd say. Playing a central midfield against De Bruyne, Silva, Toure, that's going to be a huge challenge for him. But I think it's one that we've seen his character. He tends to relish it, doesn't he? He doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. You know, he was getting in Leicester players' faces at the weekend and stuff like that. Happy to put tackles in, and it'll be refreshing to see him in there with Schneiderlin. So I'm expecting it might be a bit of a tough afternoon for him, but again, I'd expect him to grow into the game as it went on.
It's the cat with Kaiser, so there's no worries there.
Get that on a banner.
You know what I mean? That's what he is. And then obviously other local boy, Ross Barkley, on the other side of Schneiderlin. And I think Ross will be key for us in this because it will be about keeping hold of the ball when we can, and he does that better than anybody. He goes through the transitions up the pitch with the ball better than any of our midfield players. And I think, okay, at times he's frustrating, his passing is erratic, or he takes too long, but I think against these, we scored that worldie a few years ago when we couldn't really celebrate it properly because it was horrible.
One, please,
you know, but I still think Ross will be key for us in this game.
Yeah, it's in both portions of the game as well, because if you're playing a narrow midfield three like that, they're going to have to work, aren't they? They're going to have to put so much effort into to shut down City. And I think that part of his game has improved this year. I think he looks a lot leaner, a lot quicker across the ground again in that sense. Happy to put tackles in. So it's going to be, again, and for all three of those midfielders, it's going to be a huge test. Having not played together before, having a young lad in there, and just the amount of work they're going to have to get through to shut City down. But I think it's one, if they do work together and they do strike up a good chemistry early on, then they should be able to get through and limit City in that position.
And then obviously we've got Enna, called him Antonio Valencia the other day for some reason. We've got Enna Valencia and Romelu Lukaku up there. Obviously Valencia will be used a bit more fluidly to go wide if we need be drop back into midfield. But I think that's key to getting at Manchester City, that we don't just leave Rom on his own. I think it's important.
He's the type of player that you wouldn't expect these City players to fancy going up against, would you? Especially the defenders. You know, he's a pest. He's going to be making those. I think he made a few good runs against Leicester down the channels. Linked up well with Lukaku at times as well. And it was probably a little bit unfortunate to be substituted in the end because he was causing problems. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he fares. And I think if we're going to go a little bit more direct as well, obviously somebody who's quite good in the air, if he can pull off onto those City fullbacks and give them trouble in the air, then he could be a good outlet for us.
Yeah, tough ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
Before you go, what's your take on Duncan Jaffa Cakes in coffee or tea? Ped quite strangely likes Duncan Jaffa Cakes and coffee, which is wrong on every level.
I'm not having that, mate. No. But I've got a friend who is ridiculously obsessed with this, but he thinks that Jaffa Cake should be held.
Dancing reels, man.
He thinks that Jaffa Cake should be held with the chocolate side down and the biscuit bit up. So you hold them like that, and that's how you eat them. So you bite into the biscuity bit at the top and the chocolate bits on the bottom.
But then so he doesn't hold them the base, so does the chocolate will melt onto one's thumb.
Yeah, that's exactly what I say as well. But he's adamant that's the right way to hold them. Yeah.
Is there
a grip?
Is there Jaffa Cake etiquette?
I think there's etiquette of anything, isn't there really? But dunking them in tea is definitely a no. Holding them chocolate side down is definitely a no.
But dunking them in tea is slightly more acceptable than dunking them in coffee. No one wants to dunk a Jaffa Cake in coffee. Mate.
No, coffee? No, not having that, no.
What's your favourite biscuit to dunk? Or are you a dunker? Are you a non-dunker?
Not really, mate. No.
You're a non-dunker.
No, I don't like getting I don't like having to clean them off the bits off the bottom of the mug at the end.
Mate, you don't leave it in till they go. It's just a quick in and out.
There's always little bits that come off, isn't there? And then
collateral damage.
Yeah, exactly. And then you pour them out, and then sometimes they get in the sink and stuff as well. It's horrible.
No,
I do all the chores in my house, you see. So I'm the one who's has to clean all this stuff up. I know, yeah.
I hope your missus doesn't watch this and sees you bigging yourself up.
No, make all the tea, do all the jobs around the house and everything. That's why I've got time to come on here, I suppose. Yeah.
You get away with it.
Yeah.
What's your take on not finishing PlayStation 4 games and opening cellophane?
I've got an Xbox One. I know, yeah. So what do you mean? So you get a game, you just leave it?
All right, Matt. All right. Not fighting trouble. Just saying, because I just haven't finished a couple of games, and Ped shouts at me if I start a different one. That was all.
So you don't have like 2 games on the go at once?
Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine with me. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not get a bit bored of one?
Well, actually, I play FIFA as well, but Ped doesn't. He's fuming because I haven't finished The Last of Us and the start.
You don't want to overkill a game.
That's it. You don't. Why do you want to
get a game finished? You get the game finished. Shut up, me skin then.
See, this is him. He's just
obviously something feels pretty passionate.
He's passionate about it, I'll be honest, he's passionate about it.
Sometimes you play, like, say if you've got FIFA or Pro Evo and you just play for ages, you think, I want a little break from this. So you might switch onto something else like Call of Duty or...
But say you've got 2 kind of action games on the go at once. Would you ever do that?
No, I don't think so.
No?
But so if it's got to be different genres of games, I reckon, yeah. That's acceptable for me. But if you're doing like an action one, you want to complete the one action one first, get through to the end of that. But if you switch between like an action game or a sport game,
that's acceptable.
Right, yeah. In my eyes, yeah. Are these the key topics, are they?
It's just yeah. You know, I just felt it was important to get a different perspective on
anything else,
Duncan.
Mate, yeah.
I don't know what else. Anything else we've discussed at length?
It's 8:30, I want to go home.
Okay. Nice. So no more, because Ped wants to go home. Normally keeps me waiting, but...
I think the lesson we've all learned is Jaffa Cake should be not held with chocolate at the bottom.
Chocolate should never be held at the bottom on the Jaffa Cake.
Dunk the Jaffa Cakes.
And you never dunk Jaffa Cakes in coffee.
Toffee TV subliminal messaging.
It is from Ped.
Dunk the Jaffa Cakes. Dunk the Jaffa Cakes.
Pack it in. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Firstly, about the team.
Yeah.
And then, you know, anything else. Matt's revelations that his mate holds Jaffa Cakes upside down because apparently that's the way to eat them. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. We'll catch you next time on Toffee TV.